I've been working for, it's going on 25 years. I was almost 10 years at Rail. Been 3 more months, we've been 10 years. But COVID hit, and the way that the truck stops and the customers, everything changed. And it was more isolating, and it's just like I needed a break away from trucking. So then at that point, I just, got me something local at the house, something non-driving.
So my biggest thing was I wanted to be home more often. Rail doesn't have a location close enough for me to be home daily. So I went with a different company in order to have that benefit of being home every day.
I worked for some temp services, and I could see with the temp services, that wasn't going to be happening as far as getting hired on and what their benefits were and the delay in benefits. And it's just the money wasn't going to be right. So I was like, I did some looking into getting back into trucking.
In the time that I was gone, went through 4 different companies, all local, for different reasons as far as what I was told and then the realities of the situation within those companies and also pay. I decided that your home time when you're local isn't that necessarily much greater, as in it's not necessarily quality home time because you're working 14-hour days and then you're traveling to and from work, so you come home and it's limited versus being over the road. You come home and your home time is literally home time. You don't have to leave during the day and all that. I decided that over the road was actually led to better quality home time. So I just started doing research into where I may want to go, and that led me back here. There was nowhere that could compete with what I knew Rail offered, so I ended up back at Rail.
So let me contact Rail, and then they had changed a few things, and I knew the equipment and stuff. It hadn't been that long since I'd been out of the industry, so I said I'll come back and go with these guys like that. And it just kind of clicked after that, pretty much. So I came on with the same fleet that I was with when I left, basically Midwest Regional.
I go every year to the beach with my sister and her family, and they do a week, so I was able to not lose any money. I would just work my extra days to make sure I could be off the full 7 days. So that was nice to be able to not have to use PTO or anything like that. You can really adjust your schedule to whatever it is that you want to do. It's very convenient. One of the things that I really appreciated and enjoyed about Rail is the quality of the equipment and how they take care of it. Over my time at Rail, I was only stopped one time for a maintenance issue, and they worked to start resolving it immediately, get it fixed so I could get back on the road, versus these other companies that I was with. I was stopped many times and sat for half of my day sometimes, which of course then my wheels aren't turning, I'm not making money. It's not a good thing.
I have a brand new truck.
There's really nobody that is all-encompassing as Rail is to the needs of a driver. I feel like when something may happen that maybe you get a bad taste in your mouth and you think, I want to leave, and it's that whole, the grass is greener on the other side. Most of the time, a lot of the time at least, you're going to find out that it's really not, and there may be one little aspect that you think, well, they're going to pay me 5 more cents per mile, but then how old is their equipment, or how much freight do they have? So overall, across the board, as far as the whole encompassing experience of being a driver, I feel like Rail is pretty great at meeting all of those needs instead of just maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, so here at Rail with the sliding mileage, so the smaller the load or the smaller distance the load goes, the more the cents per mile is, which is very beneficial. It makes it not as annoying or frustrating to have a short load because you get paid more for it, so it averages out better. The local companies that I was with, none of them did that. It was flat.
You got more flexibility here. Hey, I need some more miles, or this, that, and the other. You can kind of speak up, or hey, I'm running too hard, this, that, and the other. But you really don't have no control in the retail. It's just like, okay, you have overtime this period of the year, this time, well, we're gonna cut it back, So there you go.
The safety is the biggest thing for me. The way that they trained, including myself, is I got my CDL through Rail, so the way that they train and that expectation and that value of safety. It's worth everything, because without the safety, you don't know that you're even going to get home for that home time. So I like the way that they do. For instance, the weather, if you don't feel safe driving, they never pressured me to. That's something that many other drivers I've talked to say that's not the case. They expect you to drive at certain other companies. So that just the safety and the value of myself over the freight in those situations where I may not feel safe is the biggest thing for me.
Home time. They used to have it they say, well, we'd be home 34 reset, or we'd be home a day and a half or 2 days, but they had it set up now. It's like 48 hours for this fleet, Midwest Regional. So I'm trying to hold them to it, and it's pretty much been 48 hours or more like that. Everybody here at Rail, they're pretty friendly, they're real friendly, so that makes a difference, very polite on the phone, and when you talk to them, they're very polite. I like that.
I feel like the overall average of the response I get when I call in was more positive at Rail. With some of these other companies that I've worked with, felt like I was annoying them maybe when I called in. And at Rail, especially when I was new, I called in a lot. And I felt like I always got a positive response, and they were always helpful. And if there was something they maybe didn't know, they would find somebody that did, and they would still help me. Sometimes with these other companies, even though it was a smaller situation and I maybe knew the people, I saw them daily, they weren't as responsive and helpful to my situations and my needs.
I can maybe get another 10 years in, or 5 years, depending when I want to hang it up,
It's an enjoyable place to work.